And good evening and welcome to KTCBroadcasting.com. I'm Kevin Hastings. It is the Renato Automall Postgame Show with Tom Cinefani and Dennis Davis, along with Scoreboard from Terry Reinhart. And Dennis, take it away. This is your favorite song, the request by Mr. Davis himself.
I just wanted to play this. Brent and all my friends out there in the Golden Lines. But before we get started, Kevin, listen carefully. On behalf of every Crest Charger that's ever been, I want to apologize to the Shelby Lions for the vandalism that took place at their school. There's no place in this county for that kind of action. It was not worthy of any Charger, and Shelby did nothing to deserve it. Tom, it's one thing when we used to paint the Leo or they did something to the horse, but that kind of destructive stuff, I apologize on behalf of all the Chargers everywhere. That is not us. Please don't judge us by the actions.
Yeah, you can't judge the whole community on the actions of a few, and I know it's all over social media, and it's embarrassing. And if anybody who's involved in that is out there listening, if you're going to drag yourself down, fine. Don't drag the community down with you. So Dennis is actually absolutely right. But on a more positive note, I know my mom is listening to this song right now. She and Danny and Dad, everybody's at the game. They said it was packed house.
At least 75. I estimate 75 to 8.
Looking forward to those folks calling in. But
Tommy,
let's go.
But before we go to those scores, what was the Cleveland Browns Cincinnati score last night for your mom?
24-3.
Miss Cinefani.
So she's supposed to be calling in 24-3. Cleveland Browns. Can I say the first place Cleveland Browns?
There you go.
That just doesn't roll off the tongue very easily. But congratulations to them. But now some folks around the Tri-County, Quad County, however many counties we cover here want to hear some scores. So let me run them down for you. We got Crest over Shelby in the marquee matchup of the night. Crest 21, Shelby 13. Big comeback for Crest. Spirited effort for Shelby. They came a lot closer than most folks did this year. Good ball game, 21-13. Lincoln big over Maiden, 62-32.
We're howling, Tommy.
Roseboro, 6 touchdowns, 228 yards. That's a good career for a lot of kids. Bessemer City goes down to Cherryville. Cherryville beats them 39-26 on a couple of late touchdowns. Want to hear from some Cherryville folks. That was a huge game in that conference. Ashbrook Hunter Huss, I'm waiting for Terry to update me. I'll have you that in a second. RS Central more than likely ends the Burns Bulldog season tonight. 4 wins, I don't think is going to enough to get Burns in. RS Central is playoff bound. RS Central beats them 19-14. If you watch that game as I did, Burns just a hard time stopping the running game. They got over there at RS Central, they got a kid that's 5'8" and over 200 pounds. And let me tell you what, he was bowling them over all night, Dennis.
Bowling ball, huh?
It was hard to watch if you're a Bulldog fan. Spirited effort for Burns tonight. They go down 19-14. East Lincoln big over West Lincoln, no surprise there, 48-13. Forest View blanks East Gaston 34-0. Kings Mountain in a surprisingly tight game with East Burke. Kings Mountain prevails 28-20. South Point.
Squeak this one out.
We don't have a mercy rule. South Point 75 to nothing, rubbing their nose in it just a little bit. Maybe those folks at South Point a little bit upset about some of their kids going over there. Maybe some other factors going on in that 75.
Maybe South Point will be going over there
75 to nothing. I'm not really sure that has a place in high school football, but nonetheless. You could take the Steve Spurrier philosophy. I get paid to score. You get paid to stop me.
But
so
Steve hasn't scored. He's gotten beat by Tennessee.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, we forgot to mention that one too. West Iredell over North Lincoln, 49-48. North Gaston over Lake Norman Charter, 39-10. Still waiting to hear from the Highland Tech and our friends at Thomas Jefferson. I don't have a score there. No score.
That will be an interesting. See who has the higher SAT score.
I'm going to go ahead and give that to Highland Tech. Newton Conover goes down tonight. Wow, Matt Beam goes down. Bandy's beats him 31-14. Newton Conover started on strong, not playing a whole lot of defense here lately, and they go down again tonight. It surprised me a little bit, the score, not the outcome, because Bandy's is pretty good, but the score, 31-14. Only managing 14 points from a Matt Beam offense, that's surprising. East Rutherford over Chase, 24-7. Statesville over South Iredell, 42-13.
Oh, this next one, Tommy.
Lake Norman. Mooresville goes down. That might be their first loss of the year, Dennis.
It is.
Lake Norman 40, Mooresville 38. So a wild one there. Lake Norman beats them. Not Lake Norman Charter. Regular Lake Norman. Regular Lake Norman beats them 38-40. North Iredell over Alexander Central 34-28.
And the one we've been waiting for.
And the one you've been waiting for, Pine Lake Prep defeats the Community School of Davidson 22-12. I know you guys were staying up late for that score. So let me run you around locally, and I'm going to turn it over to Dennis. Crest over Shelby 21-13. Lincoln over Maiden 62-32. Cherryville beats Bessemer City 39-26. Terry, we got anything on Ashbrook?
20-14.
20-14.
The team that won.
Okay,
Hunter
20-14.
Wait a
Hunter
minute.
Huss.
Hunter Huss is beating Ashbrook.
Hunter Huss is up in that ball game late. Terry has not confirmed the final.
Hey, guys, Hunter Huss has the ball on the 35-yard line right now. You can watch that game on ktcbroadcasting.com.
By all means.
It is our Gaston County Game of the Week. So if you got folks don't want to listen to me and Tom and Dennis, you can switch over and watch that game.
How can nobody want to listen to
Well,
this?
we've already had one caller not a fan of Dennis and his music already.
Really?
All right.
Well, tell Steve I'll talk to him later.
Real quick, though, real quick of note, the Ashbrook quarterback was just taken out on a stretcher on the
I hate to hear that for anybody.
I'm just reading reading some notes going through Twitter right now. I want some updates, some notes that you guys might want to know. That maiden Lincoln game, 1,000 yards total between the two teams.
1,000 yards.
Points.
That's a big season.
So big, great, or a lot of offense there in Lincoln tonight on WLON. A couple other scores. Forest View, this is their first ever outright conference championship.
Congratulations to them.
Thomas Jefferson ends up tying Bessemer, I think, for the championship. But I think Bessemer, with the win over Thomas Jefferson, will get the home seed. And they were talking about on 1590, but after the game, they may be another rematch next week of Cherryville and Bessemer City.
For the third time?
For the third time this season. And if they do play, that game will be at Bessemer. Bessemer will be a home game next week. Cherryville will be on the road.
Right. Terry's got a couple of breaking scores here. Oh, wow.
He's got our friends at Thomas Jefferson.
We're not very friendly.
60-22, not very friendly to our friends at Highland Tech.
And West Caldwell over Bunker Hill tonight, 54-28.
Oh, he just put that one up too. Okay, all right. Do we have a caller?
No, you guys are good. Want to announce real quick, guys, we still have one game live, Hunter Huss and Ashbrook live, ktcbroadcasting.com. You can watch that. People are
watch the pictures, listen to us.
Listen.
And if I could speak to that, watch the game. Dan Greer and the boss man Calvin Hastings did a great job over there with the Burns game.
They always do, Tom.
They always do. And if there's a night where you just can't get out, you're low on gas, you're just too tired, you got a headache, you want to relax and watch some high school football, I'll tell you what, KTC Broadcasting does a good job. And we always encourage people to go out to the game because just like my folks and my brother were out at the game tonight, I mean, it's a real you can't beat the atmosphere of high school football. But if you can't get there or, for some other reason.
Like tonight. I mean, there were 7,500, 8,000 people at the Crest Shelby game. I had a friend who's a Shelby fan, and she told me today, I said, are you going to the game? And she said, no, this is a lady that I work with. But she said, I will be watching it on KTC. Think of all the hassle that she didn't have to put up with in parking and walking. Now, she missed the atmosphere, which is why you want to go. But if you can't make it to a game, KTC is your answer.
And you could follow. And I just want to add real quick, Kevin, you could see some out-of-county games, too, if you want to look at what some of these other teams look like in Lincoln County.
Man. I mean, with Roseboro 6 touchdowns tonight, you might want to give this kid a view before the NFL gets in.
Right. And we had some pretty famous viewers tonight, Shelby Crest game. Manny O. Mitchell watched and tweeted online
Olympic silver medalist.
And so did Mr. Spikes up in Buffalo.
Brandon, my man, call in.
He likes to watch the Crest Chargers every Friday night. So Mr. Spikes and Mitchell, they watch quite a bit, and they do across the country. I want to thank everybody for watching. I do want to note, starting next week into the playoffs, guys, we cannot show you live video of playoff action.
Yeah.
Time Warner Cable owns the rights to all video,
the playoffs game.
all sports. They're not going to show you the first round matchups or anything. We've even asked, can we do the first round, the second round, third round? No. Time Warner owns all the rights to all that. We can't even show you a softball game in the playoffs if we wanted to. And Time Warner Cable is not coming out to Crest High School to do a softball game.
This is
in the championship game.
This is the inefficiency of Monopoly.
Absolutely. So,
In the championship games, Kevin, they will make those available.
Those will be live online on cable. But now, our broadcast, folks, we will have all the broadcasts. It's just you can only listen to them online. We'll have all the Crest games.
Close your eyes.
All the
and
Shelby,
Dan
all the
and your
Burns.
dad and
They'll paint a
Brent
pretty
and
picture.
Jeff, everybody, Andy and Tim, it's just like you're there, man.
And we will have the Lincoln County Game of the Week and the Gaston County, too. So go ahead, guys.
But we will have a picture broadcast of the postgame show, right, Kevin?
Absolutely.
They wouldn't want to miss me and Tom.
No,
Yeah, that'd be awful because really we both have a face for radio. But
There you
anyway,
go.
let's go over those scores one more time. It's Crest over Shelby 21-13. Lincoln, a big night over Maiden 62-32. They're telling me there was over 1,000 yards of offense. They're telling me Roseboro had 6 touchdowns. I mean,
He may have had 1,000 yards.
You can't stop him.
that's 6
Coach
touchdowns.
Cloninger, his last home game, 141
What a way to
wins
go out at home,
versus
Coach.
65 losses.
Tom,
So
that 6 touchdowns ties the county record. And me and Terry was talking. There's like 8 kids with 6 touchdowns in one game in Lincoln
well,
County.
you know what the thing is, Kevin. When you get in high school, you get some talent mismatch, and it's just unavoidable, and that's why you get PlayStation numbers in a high school
All
game.
you need is
sometime.
one kid to get 7, and we can quit talking about that record.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Well, I guess it would be nice as long as you're not the opposing team.
Hey, Northern Guilford doesn't play in this conference.
Okay.
And Cherryville over Bessemer City, that was a big one, 39-26. Maybe Danny Aker will call in tonight and tell us about that game. Hunter Huss over Ashbrook, 20-14. Burns goes down to our Essential, 19-14, all likelihood ending their season. East Lincoln over West Lincoln, 48-13. Forest View over East Gaston, 34-0. Kings Mountain over East Burke, 28-20. South Point just hammers Stuart Kramer, 75-0. West Iredell over North Lincoln, 49-48. North Gaston defeats Lake Norman Charter. That's Lake Norman Charter goes down, 39-10. Our friends at Thomas Jefferson defeat Highland Tech, 60-22. West Caldwell over Bunker Hill, 54-28. Bandy's deals a serious blow to Matt Beam's playoff seeding, I'd say, with a win there over Newton Conover, 31-14. Bandy's a winner. East Rutherford over Chase, 24-7. Statesville defeats South Iredell, 42-13. Lake Norman over Mooresville, 40-38. North Iredell in overtime defeats Alexander Central, 34-28. And Pine Lake Prep over the Community School of Davidson, 22-12. Do we have a caller?
Tommy, we do have a caller. Caller,
Go ahead,
who
caller.
we got?
Steve Degree.
Hey, Steve, my amigo.
What's going on,
Steve,
Dennis?
I left it in your capable hands. You were up 13-0. I leave, and what happened, Steve?
Well, first play, they throw the little wheel right out the backfield of Trey. Hit him on the sideline, about 45-yard touchdown, and they got the ball back, and they hit the number 6 over on the sideline on a quick pass. Defensive back missed the tackle, and he took it in. And then went to the Wildcat, and 79 yards later, Trey was be very disappointed in both teams.
It won't
That
be
was
because
one of the
they're
best football games, even though Shelby lost. That was one of the best football games that I saw in a long time.
Well, Steve, I want to say this about the Shelby Golden Lions tonight, and I hope you heard the apology I offered on behalf of all Crest Chargers for what happened at the school outside of the football stadium. That doesn't everything that goes on. It's a good rivalry. These kids will see one another at church Sunday. They'll work together. Their parents go together. It's like I asked you tonight. I said, the Borders kid that's playing tight, wide receiver, didn't his dad